corporate media. They just zero in on whatever the corporate media is doing. So the corporate media is telling Biden, you're winning, Joe. You're winning big. That's what they're telling him with all these ridiculous polls. Trump is a little bit worried about the election, there's no doubt about it. Biden is now feeling really strong, so strong that he has now adopted many of the things that socialist Bernie Sanders was demanding. He's adopted them in his platform, which would have been inconceivable 6 months ago. One of the really disturbing things that Mr. Biden has adopted is an anti-police posture. Roll the tape.
Surplus military equipment for law enforcement. They don't need that. The last thing you need is an up-armored Humvee coming into a neighborhood. It's like the military invading. They don't know anybody. They become the enemy. They're supposed to be protecting these people.
All right, so what does that mean? That because some police agencies have military-type equipment, they're the enemy of the people? I can't remember the last time the military-type equipment, the Humvee, was actually used. I'm sure there were times, but I can't remember one off the top of my head. And if they were used, there would be some kind of insurrection. That would be the only way that they would be called out, like the riots after George Floyd. Yeah, the military needed equipment to protect the people and the property, didn't they, Joe? Now, here's what's really interesting about this. That Biden, back in 1994, was the co-sponsor of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act. What did that do? It provided 100,000 new police officers in America, $10 billion more for prison funding, $6 billion for prevention programs, crime prevention, and it created 60 new death penalty offenses. 60. Joe Biden was the tough on crime guy. Now he's the, well, police are enemies if they use force, military force, in the protection of their community. They're the enemies. It's not like they're riding through the south side of Chicago, Joe, in the Humvees. They're not doing that. They should do it, but they're not. So Biden has staked out now a territory that is far, far left. And again, it's not reported in the media, and most folks don't even know it. Okay, let me give you a few examples. Climate change. $1.7 trillion investment on the part of the federal government in climate change and stuff that they want to buy, like windmills and solar panels, stuff. $1.7 trillion. So we got a $28 trillion debt now. If you add up all the stuff that Biden/Bernie want, we owe 35 to 40 trillion. Okay? Now, to keep the dollar from collapsing, because it will, that means all your savings, all your IRAs, all of that halved, because the dollar is not worth as much. That's what's going to happen. They'd have to seize, the Biden administration, private property, wealth tax, tax on your car. You already have a tax on your car. You have more of a tax on everything in order to pay this insane stuff. They want free college, free pre-K. They'd run small business out of existence with the home leave. I mean, it's everything Bernie Sanders was screaming about. And the reason he didn't win, Biden says, yeah, it's okay with me. And the final thing, remember when Biden raised his hand and said, yeah, I'll pay for the health expenses of illegal aliens, people who violate our immigration laws. I want to pay for all of their health care expenses. Remember that? That was the real Joe Biden. Now, do you think the American voter getting called up on a poll knows any of this? I don't know it. Do they care? I don't even know if they care. Everybody knows we're in a recession. More than 44 million